Oh, well. The rumors keep swirling and swirling with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Howie Roseman has not stopped. The Kevin Byard trade was not the only thing that they were going to stop at that point, really, solidifying the back end of our safety spot. Reed Blankenship coming back this week, but it looks like the Eagles could have a lot of interest in a top cornerback.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So a lot to go over here regarding the Philadelphia Eagles and the trade deadline. And it looks like there has been some news coming out. What position are the Eagles going after? It looks like Howie Roseman from Diana Rossini said again, because she kind of gave us the news that they were looking at a top safety. They traded for one in Kevin Byard, and now they are out scouring the market once again for another trade. What position is it going to be? Looks like news did come out on Kenny Moore, one of the best cornerbacks in the nickel spot right now from the Indianapolis Colts. Shane Steichen is the head coach there right now. He was our offensive coordinator, so good relations could maybe get a trade done. But this is what it says. It says the Philadelphia Eagles really like Colts Pro Bowl cornerback Kenny Moore. Source says GM Howie Roseman has been very active on the phones and continues to look all over the league. It is unknown if Moore is available at this time. Okay, now the Colts are 3-3 right now. Anthony Richardson had season-ending surgery, and most likely they're probably not going to get into the playoffs this year. So they might be looking to kind of get some assets, some draft capital to kind of build that team up a little bit. But I think this makes perfect sense. We were thinking backup right tackle. We were thinking, obviously the Patrick Surtain news has been popping up all over the place. If he's actually going to get traded, we'll actually see. I have to see it to believe it at this point with some of the mock trades to the Philadelphia Eagles. But I think Howie Roseman is looking for nickel corner help, unfortunately. Remember, we lost Zach McPherson in the offseason. We lost Avonte Maddox. He's had 4 injuries in 2 years. Okay, got injured his second time during the regular season. And then the Eagles went out and got Bradley Roby, and he actually played pretty well in that Rams game in the second half. They were kind of switching nickel corners, because Bradley Roby literally just signed and it was able to get into a game. But I thought in the second half of that Rams game, they really settled Bradley Roby down and really became the pure starter. But unfortunately, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. He's going to be out week to week. He's not playing this week. And Josiah Scott was a signing that, Josiah Scott was a cut from this past offseason. We wanted Mario Goodrich to climb over the roster spot in front of him. Now it's the total opposite. Josiah Scott is on the active roster, and Mario Goodrich was released, and then, he made it through waivers or whatever, and came back to the Philadelphia Eagles on the practice squad. So this is very interesting. Undrafted player from 2017, and really climbed his way up over his years. I think he's, 28 years old right now. You get a savvy veteran, that nickel spot. He was on the top 100 list in the NFL last year, and I think this makes a lot of sense. I really do. Now, is this going to happen? This is more third-party-ish type news. This isn't from Diana Rossini or anything like that. All we know is that the Eagles have been calling around for a specific position. And I'm guessing that Bradley Roby is probably, if it's week to week, and it has been, he's already missed 1 game so far. So probably going to miss the next couple weeks before the bye week. But I still think you need to get another nickel corner, because really behind Josiah Scott, I know Josiah Scott played really well. I thought he played really well, but I don't think he's going to play well for that long. Okay, we got to be realistic of who he is as a player, and he's got a great defense around him. So, but you got some tough matchups where they're going to line up their number 1 receiver in the slot, and Josiah Scott is. I thought Josiah Scott was a good quick fix because he knows the guys, he knows the defense, so he knows a lot of the players on this team, and it's really not too hard to get him acclimated to the defense too much. So it was a nice quick fix for the Eagles to bring him back. Not saying he still can't be here, but with Bradley Roby now being out for probably another couple weeks, probably till the bye week, you still got to get depth at the position. So I think realistically, what they really want to do is that they want to trade for Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore becomes the starting corner, and then you can have Bradley Roby as your backup or use him on certain packages, whatever they want to do. So I still feel like I wasn't even really thinking this too much. because I figured, I don't think Bradley Roby is going to return this week. I highly doubt it, but I guess we'll just find out when the time comes, when we face the Washington for the last time this season on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And, we'll find out in the coming weeks. But, next week, at the end of next week is the end of the trade deadline. I know some Eagle fans, especially in the comment sections of some of my videos, probably a few weeks ago to a month ago, were talking about Kenny Moore. He's got one more year left on his contract. His numbers as of right now for the year, it's obviously he made $7.4 million. That's his base salary for this year, which definitely went down. Because we've already played 6 games and he's getting paid for 6 games already. So that number has definitely went down a good amount, and his cap number for the year is $8.1 million. So, like I said, you're getting a savvy vet in the building, and the Eagles are going all out at some point. I'm not worried about the numbers, the cap numbers. I'm just letting you guys know what it looks like. But we don't know if he's actually available. The Eagles may have called, and the Colts may say we need to think about this for another couple of days and see if we can actually, that this is what we really should do, with Kenny Moore. And, we'll see what happens. But, it's looking like, I'm not saying just from this, news, it means they're not going after any other position, but I think realistically, I don't know if they're going after running back. I thought maybe they were looking for running back help, maybe to get that number 2 punch behind DeAndre Swift. We were thinking of Derrick Henry. I said, go get a free agent like Leonard Fournette. We'll see what happens here. But getting secondary help is, you need depth at nickel because you don't have it. Even if Bradley Roby is playing, I don't think Josiah Scott is the best option for your backup at this point. I heard even rumors about Jalen Mills getting traded to Philadelphia, back to Philadelphia, that the Eagles had interest in him, maybe a week or two ago, and they've kind of been monitoring his situation because Jalen Mills could play multiple positions in your secondary as well. The more players in your secondary that can play multiple spots, in case you have an injury, the less, you're going to miss a beat with your defense. You're not going to have to worry so much. And at least we have that with Kevin Byard right now, but with Kevin Byard, I think you got to keep him on the back end right now, and that's what's really important. Reed Blankenship coming back. Sidney Brown's healthy now, so now you have not only your starters back there, but you have a lot of depth as well, which is good. But when it comes to cornerback, and you have Slay, you have Bradbury, I understand all that. You have Eli Ricks that's there that can, Eli Ricks can play the nickel as well, because I've seen him play inside, and he can play outside. Has done such a fantastic job with the short amount of time he's had on some snaps here and there, when it comes to just getting play time, getting a lot of playing time. When he gets it, he flashes, and it's great to see Eli Ricks really doing a fantastic job. I think the Eagles have one of the deepest position groups, especially with 7 cornerbacks on the roster right now, especially when they got out of camp and how many they kept. They're still moving pieces around right now, so I feel like if Bradley Roby is going to be out for another couple weeks, before your bye week, you want to kind of get this position set. And I think with Josiah Scott, I still think you can win. I think there's too much of a good defense around a lot of these players. Your pass rush is definitely so much better now with the edge rushers now. Hassan Reddick is really starting to turn up a lot. Josh Sweat's been playing fantastic, and obviously your defensive tackles have been monsters. So I'm not really worried about too much. But that nickel corner spot, it's been a pain in our asses since Maddox went down, and really trying to find your starting guy. So getting Bradley Roby's a nice start, but dealing with injury, now you have to deal with, we got to try to trade for somebody now. And this makes a lot of sense for Kenny Moore. So I don't see why not. The Eagles can get rid of him after this year. The Eagles, what's really good about this situation where they sign guys and they have 1 year left on their deals, is that they always have options in case they really want to re-sign these players again. That's the greatest thing about this. So if they go into the, if they by the end of the year, if they feel like, what, this guy might be able to play here for another couple of years, let's try to get something, let's talk to his agent, see if we can get something on the table here, because I think he's going to be a very good player for this defense. Because I feel like going into next year with the nickel spot, Zech McPherson's coming off an injury as is right now. We don't know how he's going to play. When you're coming off an Achilles or an ACL, it sucks. The Achilles is obviously a lot worse, especially at an older age, but Zech McPherson is still young. And like I said, you know, I think you got to cross-train a lot of guys, but getting a vet to where the Eagles and Howie Roseman, the Eagles make moves like this. Howie Roseman does make moves like this because he thinks this team is ready for another championship run. And if that's the case, which I totally believe it, the Eagles will go out and trade for Kenny Moore, depending if they're moving him or not. It's really up to Shane Steichen, and I think the conversations, the communication, and obviously, you know, just Shane Steichen used to, you know, being with us and being comfortable, maybe talking to Howie and trying to work this thing through. If they want to, if Irsay wants to get rid of Kenny Moore, because I don't know how much that the owner has a lot in some of these players and how much say he does have at points, so I'm not really sure about that. But I think this makes a crap ton of sense. And if they're able to get a starting nickel veterans corner in here that plays at a high level, I don't see why not. This would be very, very good for the Philadelphia Eagles and depth behind it too. So can't complain about that. So that is Kenny Moore. Speculation as of right now. Like I said, probably be more rumors of what's going on with the Eagles, but it's sounding like it is going to be a cornerback at this point. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Eagles is this the position that they're really going after right now, or do you think this is all smokescreen? Are they going after something else? You let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, Philadelphia? Peace out, guys. Peace.